Thank you.
Yes.
Start off with a word of prayer. Thank you, Lord, for just allowing me to be here again in the midst of your people to give the word that you have given to me. And I thank you, Lord, for our pastor and our apostle. He has the vision to see and do what you would have for her to do. Thank you for directing her steps, even from day to day, with what she needs to lay out for us to be able to follow, Lord. We appreciate that. We thank you, Lord, for all of this, Lord. Use me. Thank everyone here in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, Lord. That's a beautiful song. Broken. Song say, I'm broken and I need you to rescue me.
All right.
We all been there before.
Amen.
We know how that feels.
Amen.
Amen.
It was some time back, there was a lady, she was driving through the country town. And in driving through that town, she ended up doing 75 miles an hour and 50 mile per hour zone. And as she came through, police, of course, got behind her. And he pulled her over. He said, you know, you was going 75 miles an hour in a 50 mile per hour zone. And he told her, well, I got to take you into court. It was a small town. So they had, you just took right to court there. In a small town like that, you ain't got to wait. Took her straight to court.
Yes.
And she got there, the judge said, well, ma'am, you've been charged with driving 75 miles an hour in a 50 mile per hour zone. The fine for that is $100.
Well.
And she started crying. She said, I don't have $100.
Hello.
He said, well, the penalty for that is 2 nights in jail. See, I can't stay 2 nights in jail. So that's when the judge did something that kind of shocked everybody in the courthouse. He got up, took off his robe, put on his suit jacket, went, stood next to the lady, reached in his hand, gave her $100.
Right.
Left, went put back on his robe again, went back up to the bench and said, ma'am, the fine for driving 75 at a 50 mile per hour zone is $100. But wait, somebody paid it for you.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Don't they remind you of something?
Yeah.
God left the perfection of heaven, put on a human body, came down here, died on the cross, was resurrected. That's the receipt right there. He got the receipt. You hear people say, I got the receipt. He got the receipt. I've heard that phrase. You heard that phrase. Nobody like you know. That's the receipt right there when he rose from the dead and went back to heaven.
All right.
Come on now.
He paid for it all. Paid for it all. Jesus.
Glory to God.
I know one thing. I first of all want to thank our pastor for that lesson early today.
Amen.
Powerful lesson. And it's funny how the Holy Spirit, because see, this is the thing. The Holy Spirit wants us to have a whole day of grace.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Wants us to have a whole day of grace. The title of this message is Grace. That's all right though, because there's so much to cover. You can't help. Every time I study about grace, I get excited.
Hallelujah.
Some stuff I preach, I get a little nervous. Sometimes, you know, I get a little anxious, but when I study and preach about grace, I get excited because it's just that exciting.
Yeah.
It really is good news.
Come on, man.
So he'll use me to bring out some things that maybe she didn't bring out because he was using me, and then I missed some stuff that she brought out. But the main thing is that throughout the course of the day, with the morning and right now, you should leave here with a pretty decent understanding of what grace is.
Yeah.
Unless you just don't want to.
Yeah.
And I can't help you with that.
Come on.
Because I asked the question, are we really amazed by grace?
Come on, man.
We sing the song, Amazing Grace. But are we really amazed by it?
All right.
If we're not, it's really probably because we just don't understand it.
That's right.
That's usually it. We don't understand it, we don't trust it, we don't believe it. But it's really that important. Grace.
Yes.
It sounds, it's just the word grace.
Yes.
Well, let's just look at that word grace for a minute. Because what a lot of people don't know is that the word grace was used culturally before it was ever used spiritually.
All right now.
When you look at the biblical days, the word grace, which in the Hebrew is pronounced charis, C-H-A-R-I-S. That's the word for grace.
Amen.
But in the biblical days, grace was around before it was even used
That's right.
spiritually. And let me explain it to you. Back then, the way grace was used, you would have a person who was in a high authority. And he would extend kindness, so to speak, or called grace, out to those that didn't really have as much.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And the way that it went about, you would think that it would really only involve a couple of people to do this. I got something, you need something.
Come on, man of God.
But what it was, that person that actually had the thing, the person in power would be called the patron.
All right.
That's what in Greek it's a lot of different other stuff, but we, in English, is translated, it'll be the patron.
Yes.
I got the goods. Now, the thing about it, grace always involved back then 3 people. It involved the patron, it involved the person who was receiving the goods, and it also involved another person that was in the middle of that. And that person was pretty much called a broker.
All right.
All right.
And what the broker did, he would go out and find the people or the person that needed the goods.
All right.
He would then get with that person, bring them to the high authority person so they can get hooked up. But the thing about it, the broker, his job was to pay for the goods.
All right.
He paid for it. And then he joined these 2 parties together.
Teach you, baby.
Ain't that just like Jesus?
Yeah.
Jesus the broker.
All right.
All right.
He paid for it, and he brought us together with God.
Amen.
Reconciling us back with God.
Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
That's amazing. I got a lot of notes and a lot of fancy stuff, notes and stuff. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
All right.
But I just know it's important to talk about grace.
Yes.
Because, so you almost can't really find the words for it.
Yeah.
Anytime you preach about it, you always feel like you ain't never say enough.
That's right.
Because it's that amazing. They had your debt paid. Paul knew how amazing it was. He knew how amazing it was. He was, as we all know, his life, killing Christians, this, that, and the other, the stuff he went through. And you mean tell me I can start over?
Yeah.
I can have that canceled out and go now forward to preach a gospel?
Yeah, right. You can do it.
Tell it.
See, and you wonder why he almost died so many times, because that's amazing. That's something to lay your life on the line for.
That's right.
As Pastor spoke earlier, that was a Damascus experience, because you can have an experience like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
My Lord.
Grace is that amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hallelujah.
You can't work for grace. You can't work for it. But you can respond to it.
Yes, you
Yes, yes.
That's the biggest thing you can do when it comes to grace. I'm not going to be up here a long time. We just have an extended grace lesson today.
All right.
Let's look at Ephesians 2, verse 1. Let's look at that. Ephesians 2, verse 1. Let's see what Paul said about grace. Ephesians 2, verse 1. Gotta say amen.
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 Ephesians 2 verse 1 reads, as for you, you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live, when you followed the ways of this world and of the ruler of the kingdom of the air.
Yes.
We know who that is.
Yes.
The Spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient. All of us also lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were by nature deserving of wrath. But God,
All right.
but because of the great love for us, God, which is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in transgressions.
Yes.
It is by grace you have been saved.
Yes.
And God raised up with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms
Yes.
in Christ Jesus, in order that in the coming ages he might show the incomparable riches of his grace,
Yes.
expressed in his kindness to us in Jesus Christ.
Yes.
In the coming ages, he gonna really show us grace.
All right.
We ain't seen nothing yet. We got a lot to look forward to when it comes to grace. We think this good news.
Come on.
Amen.
Wait. I'm telling you, we don't even talk about when you get to heaven. When you get there, it's just gonna be crazy. Just daytime all the time, you don't miss nothing.
All right.
Body won't be corrupted.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's the grace right there.
Amen.
You can't earn grace, but you can access grace.
Yeah.
You can read that in Romans 5, verse 2. I mean, because when you think about it, sin. See, God have to react to sin. That's one thing we always have to understand. When I say react to it, it's got to be, he don't tolerate it. He can't tolerate it. It's not something he can be close to.
right.
So he got to come up with something to deal with it. Sin. We know what sin is. Self-inflicted nonsense.
All right.
Go ahead.
Because you think about it, self-inflicted nonsense. It's us.
That's right.
We do what we want to do.
All right.
We listen to who we want to listen to, blame it on them when the stuff don't go right.
That's right. See.
But it's grace for that.
Amen.
It's grace for that.
Yes.
Amen.
See, grace will let you go. We always talk about grace will let you go on your way.
All right.
Because some lessons you got to learn by going on your way.
All right.
You know, that's how we are as human beings.
Amen.
We have to learn some lessons. Oh no, you got to go. Look at the prodigal son. He had to learn that lesson. He came to his father and said, look, I want my inheritance.
That's right.
I want all what's owed to me. I'm going to go. And then, you know, the father argued with him at all. He didn't tell him, look, that's not a good idea.
That's right.
Son, I think we ought to talk about this. No. He went right in the inheritance place where they keep the inheritances and stuff at. I don't know what it is. Just tell me.
That's all right.
You have to keep it somewhere. You just can't have inheritance all out willy-nilly like that. There's a place where you keep the inheritance there.
All right. All right.
So he went to the inheritance place And he went on his way.
That's right, you teach